right, hello everyone. Now finally live and apologizing for the delay. I incurred a few technical problems here, which is a major drag to say the least. For some reason, the YouTube link that I had planned and scheduled and had all this trouble to set it up. My streaming software just went crazy because I switched a mode thing to record instead of stream as well, because I was using also for different purposes, and my upcoming stream was not showing up, so there was a drag. So I had to quickly create another stream link, and that's what you are watching right now. So if you for some reason are in the past link which is not working, so please hope you find this one. So major drag, but here we are. We got some cool stuff to talk about today. We already have a few people here. How's going? Bala is here. Hello, we are here. Yes, thank you for being here, my buddy. Good morning, Underpants on YouTube. Thank you so much for joining us today. We got a packed live stream today. I'm gonna be talking about some cool tricks, some cool stuff over this tune, which is a famous standard that probably you all know. What's up, Mark? Mark is our new member from the BGI and a regular over here this live trainings. So I expect some cool questions today about this song. Well, why should we not just get going and stop this whole boring chat of me? Today I'm trying something different besides the microphone here. I also have my LR bags internal mic straight into the guitar, into the stream, so hopefully you get even more beefier sound. So I'm kind of excited to try this, and I think it sounds cool. At least from my headphones it sounds great. So if you guys feel the difference or anything, or if it's sounding alright, let me know in the comments what you feel about this sound of the guitar, because I think it sounds great here. Mic and internal mic. Awesome. So here we are at our Saturday Sambafying sessions, now rebranded, right? Let's go take a look at the tune as we usually do. Today's tune is There Will Never Be Another You. Let me get my chair properly here so I can get a good center angle over here. Great tune, so let's get right down to it. Let me show the tune as I usually do. So there it is. There Will Never Be Another You. That's the real book kind of basic form and chords and all that. We'll be doing a few changes on the form, not the form, the chords. Some of the chords that I personally play different, but most people play different as well. So let me kind of go through this chords and the main melody, so you can just kind of remember the tune as its own original shape, form. original chord progression as written on the real book. I don't know if it's the original recording or something, but that's what the real book tell us. A few changes here that usually I see people doing, myself included, here on the third system, you know, over the A flat major, instead of which is a 2-5 to E flat, the key, 2-5-1. I see a lot of people playing D flat, D as in dog. Right, so we're doing that so-called backdoor, but it's not even a full 2-5. So you can just A flat major 4, and then the flat 7 dominant back here. So what I usually play and people play too, the I see that D flat floating in a lot. I personally play that. There's an option C minor F7. Usually people stick around on F. I do. And then here the same D flat. And then here there's a big difference there that I also play, and every time I play this song, that's how people play. Instead of as 2-5 to F major, like the G minor C7, and then back here, usually I see a 2-5 to G major, like a A minor D7. So that's usually what I see. I don't remember playing that G minor C7 at all. Usually A minor D7. So here's just common practice, I guess. And then go back to E flat, right? And then the other difference that we see sometimes is that sort of ending progression over there. You have this E flat D G C dominance, right? E flat D7 G7 C7, which is, you know, I played that before. Sometimes, and I sing that, and that's how I usually also play. Instead of the G7, I put a D flat major 6 there. So we have this chromatic line, you know, right? So instead of usually, right? So this is these are some of the differences you see around when people play that tune. The big one, I think, is the penultimate system, the last bar, G minor C7. I see a lot of A minor D7 instead. Personally, that's how I play. That's how I always play this tune with people. I don't remember playing that G minor C7. So we got some people here. Nixon, what's up? Thanks for joining us today, brother. Alexis, thank you so much for joining our stream today. So that's sort of the changes or modifications, or, you know, alternate versions that you see harmony wise on this tune. Other than that, then you get to, you know, to play around and, you know, do substitutions and all that. But as far as core theme, I see that difference there. The third system, D flat 7 instead of that D5 to E flat, and the A minor D7, the penultimate system, and back to E flat, and then the little turnaround, instead of G7, I see a lot, and I personally play like that, D flat major 6 to create this chromatic line on the bass. Cool. What else can we play as far as substitution and play around with the harmony? Here we go, right? Starting to mess around with this harmony. So much you can do here. I will tell you a few of the tricks that I personally use on this thing as far as Reharm. Right? One thing that is a classic, it's kind of old already, is at the end, instead of ending on the E flat on the root, like you end on E major. That's the kind of flat 2 quote unquote Neapolitan chord. Technically only if you had a first inversion, but you could call it that, like that, I guess. The flat 2 major chord. Altered septum, by the way. So it will be right? A very old kind of common thing, right? That we have. Love the chromatic line. I do love that too. Isn't it cool? You got this cool bass. So it's nice. You can even keep the 2. We can still keep C. And then do all kinds of things to keep that chromatic line going. So ending, instead of ending 1, we ended the flat 2 major 7. Classic, that's the Green Dolphin Street kind of vibe, right? Sometimes you can do that, right? Instead of ending E flat, you end on E major 7, right? The same trick here, which is, I wouldn't call it even a trick anymore, just sub-common to people to use it. You just kind of, get this little taste at the end, right? Then the idea is fire. It's cool. It's very common, to get into the flat 2, and then you can kind of go back if you want. Bala, can you go over the chromatic line again, please? Yes. Let's go figure that out. So E flat major. I'm using E flat major 9, right? That's D7 as written, right? I usually use the altered, right? Flat, sharp 9. Right? And then the chart tells you the melody is on the sharp 9 there, right? So if you would play maybe G7, flat, sharp 5, sharp 9. That's a cool way. Here I usually also do a sharp 9, flat 13. Especially because the melody goes through that A flat, right? Right? So as written, E flat, major, D7, G7, C7, right? And then go to F. So the whole chromatic idea thing is that instead of playing G, because you get the jump, you replace the G for a D flat major. And you might ask, okay, cool, could I do the flat dominant, right? You could, and that would be Bala, that would be the Triton sub, right? We talked about this past meeting. Bala is one of our BGI members who are here, and Reggie is also another one. Good morning, my friend. Bom dia. So we just went with that the other day, me and Bala. Bala will be the Triton sub here, right? Which you can totally do also, right? But why I'm not using it? Well, I could use it. The reason I'm not using is that the D flat 7, which will be the Triton sub, will be a very similar color, right? You Triton sub, changing the bass, you got a slight different change there, right? color a little bit because I'm changing the bass, but the structure of the chord is kind of the same. The reason I am doing major is that you do have now a new color there, right? Right? You have just a major sound here instead of a dominant or an alto here, right? So we have a good different color there. Yes, the good old triton subs, yes, that we can use it, but I decided not to use here because you can have a different color with this major thing, you know. So here's the flat 2 major 7 and then back, right? So that's what's going on there as far as the harmony at the end. And another trick that I'll give you that is a common one as well, which also, Paula, we talk about the chromatic 2/5s. It seems to be a ongoing occurrence in some of these songs, and you can see already that it's a common trick under the hat, right? The triton sub, and we can use that here as well. Let me show you. Let me just kind of start playing samba, because that's where we're gonna get to this, right? So the melody goes on the 1, 2, 3, 4, fourth systems through the end. You have the F minor, B flat 7. So F7. Now you have the F minor, B flat there. Instead of just playing that 2, 5, 1 to E flat major, the key, you insert a chromatic 2/5, a minor 2/5 dominant, half step up from what you're doing. So instead of doing you're gonna do and then back here. So you kind of take that F minor B flat, right, and you squeeze in the F minor forward and then put an F sharp minor B7 before you go to F minor B flat, right? So you shorten the distance between them, the two chords, and F minor goes up to that bar where the B flat is. So it gets F minor B flat in that bar. And then within the bar there was once the F minor, you put yet another 2/5, F sharp minor B7. And then you have this sequence of 2/5s, right? So you have another good old trick is the chromatic 2/5. So let's play that again so you can see. Your chromatic 2/5 sprinkle in there. Another good old trick from the hat, an old trick. Sometimes I come up with something new, but that's just a standard trick that you can use there. Another chromatic 2/5 thing that I personally use, similar to that, I kind of found a way to do it early on, just a system or two before. It's on the second system, the C minor. That C minor thing, there's a chance to put something else there. F sharp minor B7, F minor B flat 7. Yes, precisely. That's what happens there once you get the substitutions, instead of F minor, you have the 1 to 5, F sharp minor B7, and then in the other bar, F minor B flat. Correct. Do that. Great. It's good that you already do that. Now let's check out the other one. They have the C minor going for 2 bars. Here's one thing you can do. I do that one too. So I put C sharp minor 9 before I head to the C minor. It's a little bit of a, it works sometimes if you keep the chord long for much, like the melody start to kind of not fit that well because you have this F right away on the melody, but it just creates this weird kind of banded thing that you can use as an element here and there. Sometimes I use that, sometimes I don't, but hey, there we are. You can use it. Especially if you keep that E flat note kind of hanging. Boom, right? Alexis, can you repeat that? Yes, I can repeat that. So on the C minor chord there, the second system, right? Instead of playing that C minor for 2 bars, I am playing a C sharp minor instead of that C. I'm kind of going chromatically up and then going back to C minor. That's the thing I'm doing there. Off the boat, feeling correct. You kind of feeling exactly off the boat. The boat is rocking, and when you apply that, so right. A second thing I'm also using here. The melody doesn't really fit, but if you put it just in context and run with it, sometimes I use it. On the second bar, the C minor, sometimes I do a B7, flat 5, like just to connect to that B flat minor. So you create this, not a chromatic line, Alexis, right? Not a chromatic line that I just kind of superimposed now, though. Kind of forced my hand a little bit in there. It's kind of, but sometimes it's cool, I don't know. Sometimes I use it, sometimes I don't. Especially, if I'm playing the melody, I usually probably wouldn't use it. But on the solo, woo, yes. Especially if I'm in command of the whole thing, the melody, the chords, totally. So here's the effect. So I did. So it's something you can use there too. So this is me kind of now superimposing that idea, and you can totally use that there. And then you can combine with that chromatic to 5 coming up. Another thing you can use instead of the D flat minor is just change the bass. So we got your A flat minor 6, which is also cool. And that could lead to you playing E flat major that's coming up inverted with the G on the bass, the third. So you can have a cool kind of voice leading thing going on there. So we can go start the Brazilian train already arriving there, start kind of going wild with that. Here's another thing that you can do, and Bala, that's also triton sub. When you go half step on that, right? When you go to the latter part, F minor, B flat, you can do F minor, E7 sharp 9, boom. Then again, Alexis, it is cool. We all think that's fire. Check this one out. On that part, right? Instead of doing F sharp minor, B7, F minor, B flat, right? Which is that chromatic to 5. You can just keep the choose F sharp minor, F minor, and then instead of B flat to do E7. So then you have, Alexis, yet another chromatic line, which is cool. You see that if you, let me play and then I'll talk about it. So there we go, another one, right? So now you have F sharp, F, E, E flat, yet another chromatic line. Cool. So another one, I think that's the third we found here, Alexis, right? If you kind of dig deeper into this real book songs, those are filled with chances and opportunities to do these subs and things like that, and then create alternate paths. That's why it is cool that the real book is very simple and to the point, just 7 chords, you know, and not super fancy tensions, because that opens up opportunities for you to kind of rethink or rearrange those particular chords in your favor. So you discover different things, you know, you have pedals and all kinds of stuff you can do there. Cool. So I think we got a lot of you know, material harmonic wise to now move into our you know, classic Sambafying portion of the life, which is cool. Okay, now nice, you got all these chords, all these substitutions, all this cool stuff. Now how you know, deliver the goods, man. How are we gonna do the whole samba thing or whatever, right? So usually I choosing samba because it's fun, and usually that's the go-to on these tunes. But you can again transform this with anything, any style, you know. This is a Baião version of There Will Never Be Another You. Let's go back to the samba. You have the same principle applies, right? That melody, as you can see, one more time, let's take a look at the melody. It's written in very kind of simple quarter note style, right? So we have very simple, which is awesome for what we want to do, because we want to take this rhythm and apply the syncopation stuff that I have been talking about. This is number 10 already, for 10 lives already I'm talking about it. So the same thing I apply to other things is this Sambafying thing consists on, if the melody is not ready for the syncopation, just apply the syncopations. And that means the Brazilian syncopation figure, as we talk about all the time. Ba, 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 ba. 16, 8, 16. On this case, again, if you just want to look at that part, you transform into a 2-2, just seen as a cut time 2-2. So the syncopation, instead of being 16-8-16, will be 8-quarter-8, the same principle. But if you think of 2-4, like instead of 1-2-3-4 is 1-2-1-2. Then we're gonna apply the syncopation. So it will be instead of 1-2, instead of that thing, you're gonna be 1-2-1. Like nothing is on the downbeat here, right? 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1. It's so hard to say 1, 2 and syncopate and play this, but you got the idea, right? 1, 2, 1, 2, right? Everything is upbeat. All these things are kind of connected in this nice chain that stays upbeat, and that's what we need. So that against the bass, that's what you do. Then you have this 1, 2, 1, 2. Right? So there you have it, the structure, right? The foundation of the thing. If I practice this and I make that happening, the melody syncopated with this bass, I got it. Everything will be taken care of. The melody is the groove. You got it. The middle layer just supports either the melody or the bass, the top or the bottom. Again, the 3-layer system, right? This so-called Sambafying trademark. It's a 3-layer thing. Top layer, bottom layer, middle layer. Middle layer either supports the melody, you can play the same figure as the melody, or you can choose or select where you want that middle layer to enhance the melody, or you can support the bass part and the melody just stays on its own. If I'm in this case, I am going to enhance the melody, and I'm not going to attack every note of the melody. I'm going to sprinkle the harmony, the middle, in a few places. 1, 2, 1. So I didn't attack the chording every time. If I do every note of the melody, it will be kind of a chord melody thing, which is not what we want to do here, right? 1, 2. Sorry, one more time. 1, 2. Right? Then you have it. Another thing I can do is change the bass a little bit, right? E flat to B flat. So create a sense of motion, which is great, right? I can put that in there as well. So because sometimes this register, kind of like the mid-low register, I don't have much chord or middle to play, because this is the top and this is the low part, the low layer, the bottom, and I don't have a lot. So if I move the bass a bit, then I still get the idea through. I get a sense of motion. So 1, 2, you see? I got the bass moving. If I apply that bass moving, awesome. That's cherry on top. You don't need to, but if you do, it's cherry on top. Like that. 1, 2, 1. So you got the idea through. The melody informs what the groove is gonna be. So you just kind of go with the melody. And then again, the second portion of the Sambafying thing is finding the places where the melody rests or gets long. So there's not much activity on the melody. When that happens, you play the groove. In this case, it would be, you have 2 bars almost to play. Then the groove comes in. Then you play the groove. So the groove comes in to save the day because the melody is resting. Because right now we rely on the melody for a movement in the chords, in the arrangement. The melody is carrying the groove with it. So when the melody is resting, or long, in this case long, we bring back the groove for support until the melody takes over again on the next phrase. So 1 and groove, and then back to the melody. So 1 melody, groove, melody. Okay, cool. Well, what the heck is doing there, right? I'm kind of going up. We have to play this A flat, right? If I do that little change on the D flat 7 that I do on the part, instead of F have diminished B flat 7 back to flat in original chart, that's the original thing, right? F have diminished B flat 7 and back to flat. Or you can play D flat 7. That's or D as in dog, D flat. I'm playing that here. That's what I was doing. Like, it's a kind of a tricky A flat 7 that I had to kind of manage to do here because of the registers kind of high, and I need to play that 5th, right? So A flat 7 from as a C major 7 shape, caged system, right? And then I'm just extending, I'm just changing fingers to reach that note here. So that's why I'm playing here, you know. So I can do this 7 sharp 11. In this case, I'm giving away the 3rd to get the 9. Then back to E flat. And here's another cool E flat for you. Instead of playing E flat like this, kind of an open E flat, right? G, open, 3rd of the chord, D, major 7 of the chord, and B flat 5th of the chord, aka the melody. And then E flat on the bass, or if you have the 7th string, both options work. Then you home here on the C minor 11. So let me play the part. 1, 2, 1. That's the idea. On the D half diminish on the beginning, I am adding another chord there, which is just a little chromatic passing chord, not a dominant. Instead of just going from D half diminished to G7, I pass to A flat 7 also. Which is a cool chromatic thing you can do. Here's another one for you. I can also do that sus, by the way, and then sus and resolve the sus later. So that's cool, right? Ooh, so you get like a cool solution there. So you get a little extension there, A flat sus, A flat 7, G sus, G7. So you just kind of extend the harm a little bit, adding more things. Does it fit with the the arrangement? Sure, why not? Here I'm gonna change position of the C minor because I need to reach the melody kind of up here. So I am changing position of C minor midway through the phrase, but that's pretty easy because it's just under the finger. So I'm going, right? Then I'm back here. So that's a way to change positions. Bala says, how's the sus again? Let me go back to the sus. First, the idea of the chromatic passing chord there. D half diminished, G7. That's the harmony, right? Right? So you got D half diminished, G7. What I'm doing is before I reach that G, I'm doing a E flat 7 to hit here. It's just a chromatic approach here, descending, because the note, the melody allows me here. That's what I did. A flat 7, the G7. But if I do have a 7, I have a sus at the same time. So 4, 3, and then instead of 3 or G7, I do sus 3, sus 3. Right? 4, 3, 4, 3. Just basically out of nowhere created yet an expanded sequence. Just a lot of chords that you can just throw in there. Then back to switching position. Right? From here to here. So I can play. I can do, instead of the D flat 7 here, I can do the original. If F half diminished, D flat, back to E flat. Let's just see how it sounds, There will be a F half diminished 9. The melody is hinting at the 9. And B flat 13. So it works fine too. That's the one I am playing. So the original. Cool. Works great. Here we have to play the F7 part. So here's a cool voicing you can use for the F7. If you're just kind of playing the harmony, then you can play that. But if you have to play the melody, you have to, okay. It's a tough cookie there to play that shape, Maybe this is a good one. And then back to the 9 shape, F9, right? F13. Back to 9. Then you can do it. Another shape you can try instead of this is with the B open. B open is the sharp 11 of this chord. So you're kind of bringing it's tough to play the melody on this shape because you have to play here, or I think maybe here, because I can attack the chord here and there. That's options for you. And I'm here. If I am here with that note hanging in there, here's your chromatic to 5 I explained. That's there. With the E7 sharp 9 as well if you want. Here's your C sharp minor I talked about before, and then this one I just attacked and play resolve back to C minor quickly than I usually do in a solo, because I have to play the melody and doesn't really fit that chord. It's kind of, you're kind of forcing your way a little bit, you know. That part that I don't really play G minor C7 originally. I usually play A minor D7, and most people I play with, every time I play, they play A minor D7, which you can play here. Is a cool voicing for A minor 11th, which is just these two fingers here on the 10th fret, 4th string, playing the 3rd of the chord and the D note, which is 11th, and that's it. The rest is open. Then you have the 7th of the chord and the 9th of the chord open, you know. You can do that, or if you want, there's the harmonics here, which is cool. Right? So a situation where you have the 11th on the melody, I usually do that because it's just it's a lifesaver here. It's just easier to play that way. A minor, right? And then you have to play D7. So what you do here? Maybe an outro version here. Honestly, personally, I stick around with that A there. You know, I don't even do the D7. You can do it. Just, you know, play the melody and you go there. Or it's over here, but it got such a cool open string nest here happening. I just kind of stick around and let this chord ring. Because to switch from this, I have to abandon the melody, and I don't really want to do that. So you can also do, right? Maybe you can do that without the bass, maybe, you know. You know, let me return the guitar real quick. If you guys have any questions, please leave it in the comment. We're here interacting, so write your comments here, your question. Been playing without tuning now, and it's been sharp quite a bit now since I started. Cool, so that's why I usually do that. And then we got to that turnaround thing, that sequence that I'm kind of, you know, suggesting a chromatic approach. So how do we do that together here? We put all this together. So we go. We have to put them all here, and then do D7, D flat 7, C7, and then F minor. So several solutions here available to you. One of them is, ooh, here's one that I like. This is your D7 sharp 9 kind of chord there. I'm using a piano voicing here. Right? So Bala is saying getting a little thick at times. What do you mean by getting a little thick? What is getting thick? The chord, the tuning? Please explain what is getting thick. So this is a good way to play that D7 sharp 9. Of course, you're kind of giving away, you just, you know, giving up the D on the bass because you just can't play all of it here. But you get the point across, which is cool. Then you hear on the D flat major now, which is the melody, which is the 6 of the chord. You have several options there. You can play the chord like this, which is a major 7 with the 6 or 13, however you want to call this. Right? And then back to C7. Look how cool that passage could be, because just voice led beautifully. D flat major 7, you know, from this, right? With the melody 6 in there, 13. Another C7 that I am putting here, right? Right? And then I'm back in F minor. So you go. That's our D alto chord. Here's a cool B flat 7, flat 9 13, which is the melody. Right? That shape. The 7 flat 9 shape. In B flat, you get open strings, which is cool, right? So I'm switching these fingers here to play the melody, which is a 13, which gives us a 7 chord, flat 9 13, which is same as this, right? 7 ways to play the chord. Okay, play flat 9, sharp 11 13 in this case. Flat 9 13 is cool, and it's right underneath the fingers. So here's that flat second, major 7 I talked in the beginning. Okay, cool, great, awesome. How you put all that with the groove, right? The melody will be Sambafied, so it will be preserving, and then we do inserting all those syncopations, so it will be 1 2 everything's a beat. We start to play the whole thing. Right? So that's the idea. Let me see from a little bit before to get into that. Let me see. Bala is asking a question. Can you go over that second last chord, flat 9-1? Just with voicings, you can use this one. Right? That's B flat 7, flat 9, and the 13. So this is kind of, I don't need to go through all this extraneous shape, so I just do this. It's way easier to play that chord. So that's the chord the voicing I'm choosing, just because the melody is right here, so it's easy. But that chord, B flat 7, flat 9, 13, is this chord as well. That chord. I wouldn't play that shape because the melody is the 13, and the flat 9 will be on top of the melody, which is I don't really want, right? So I wouldn't use this shape. I'm just saying that this is the same chord. An option you have is playing, you know, you can play that flat 9, 13. That's the same thing as this. That's another version. If I just kind of go, just get rid of the bass, then you can play more stuff, because we're not a piano, so we gotta get rid of things. So I can do, if I don't play the bass, I now have 13 and sharp 11. Or the one I'll probably use without the bass would be, there will be 7, flat 9, sharp 11, 13. Which all again will be the dominant diminished. That sound here. So here, I'm just using it here because it's just easy, no complications. I can play everything, including the bass. So second part, heading into that slowly. 2, 1. So the whole second part, I guess, of the song, with the little ending, with the stuff on, with stuff in. Let me know if you have any questions about the voicing, sort of about everything. Is it Mark still around here? I haven't seen a question from him. Mark, if you're there, I know you always have great questions. Feel free to ask. Yeah, so a little mix here, right, of harmony stuff that you can do, you know, couple with the Sambafying thing on that song. And we didn't even talk about keys, because that key is cool. You can do in that. We just did it. You have a slightly kind of high register melody, right? The register kind of heads that way. You can find a different key to play this, you know, and see if it's a little more easier, or provide you with more open strings, you know. Sometimes I play that in A major. In A major, you know, because you have the guitar kind of open voices, you know, that's cool. You can try maybe in a C. I don't know. Let's see if it works. too, because you get all these 2/5s with approachable 7-string language, you know, and that will tie with Reggie. Do you think differently with the 7th string? Not really. I don't think differently with the 7th string. I'm just aware of what's available with the 7th string, and when I am, you know, naturally anticipating or predicting naturally a certain chord or a certain region that I will play, I will be able to play something on 7th string, then I use it, right? That particular example right now, if I play that in C, that first 2/5, that's already like ripe for 7th stringness, 7th string exploration, because I have a B, E, and A, so it's like, why not? So I can go. Ooh, I have like all this space of the melody. All the space, which I would otherwise play the groove, right? When you talk about. Right? But I can use that spot to then come, because remember, in this Sambafying system, so when you have a note that is long or arrested, you play the groove, but you also use another layer to comment on whatever's going on, because the melody is resting or long, so that's your chance to comment on stuff, right? I can use another layer to do that. You know, I can do the middle layer to do that. On this case, I can use the bass, the bottom layer of the 7th string to comment, and that's what I did. I can do the baixaria here, right? So I can do. I can create some kind of a voice there, like a melody, right? Try, I think. Right. Then come back here. I think I did. And then I do. Then I can come here, but I still have the melody to play, so I shouldn't play much here. Just a little comment, like. Just happened that the new key provided me with the opportunity to do so, right? You can also do stuff on the other key, you know. And now I can do something like that. You have to think a little bit better, but this one is just kind of a given. It's just open string, so it's easy. It's easy to just kind of naturally do that. So it's kind of right underneath my fingers, right? So that's what can do there. I have a question here from yes, sir. I've been trying to fit the samba groove within a rhythm in North Africa called chabi, maybe groove. It didn't seem right somehow. Could you please try it? I want to see how you would approach it. Well, I don't know the rhythm called shabi, that groove. It seems you're trying to do a samba on top of that from North Africa. I am not familiar with that groove, so I need to look it up and hear and see what it is, and then I might be able to provide a better feedback. I will not be able to do that right now because I gotta wrap this up, but maybe in the next live, or you can write it to me and send some stuff so I can listen to and understand that groove. I don't understand it, so I never heard it, so I need to see it in order to assess how we can do it, put the sum in there, but you know, might be possible. But thanks for being here and asking. All right, so you're 1 hour and 11 already. So again, here's the pitch, right? Again, this whole thing is possible because I have a system that allows me to take any song and do that. The Sambafying System, and that's what I teach, right? I have the Brazilian Guitar Institute, where some of my fellow guitar players here in the stream are part of, and we have a few spots open at the moment for calls to get you in this thing. So if you are interested, please book a call with me, BrazilianGuitarTalk.com. The link is here if you want to be part of this thing, and you should, because it's awesome. And I will just really quickly show you what it is. You know, there's a video portion when I show all the system, how you apply that, how you learn how to play that, how you do you know, foundations of Brazilian guitar or Brazilian music. That's a very important thing. And then when you are inside the thing, this is inside the platform, and it should be working, but nothing works when you want to, right? I have to like log in on this thing again, but this is kind of the beginning of it. And I got this really unbelievable thing I'm working on for a while, the Brazilian Guitar GPT, which is here, and that I can basically ask anything that I've been training Brazilian guitar in my teachings, and I can ask whatever I want, and it will suggest something. So for instance, let me ask something like, can you give me a few chromatic, let me say 2 5s, let me write this better, 2 5s to play over the standard. There will never be another you. So let me see what this thing tells me. Let's see, it shows up. Chromatic progressions, reharmonization. Okay, it's explaining the concepts, right, of what it is, and it's already trained for the Brazilian thing. So he's talking about the syncopation and the feel and everything, beats too, etc. Original B flat major G minor. So he's telling about going to D minor, you know. Okay, that could be maybe one option. E flat minor, A flat, C minor. So it's like giving you a bunch of options here of chromatic walk down. Bebop meets Brazilian. There we go. F minor, B flat, E flat. Okay, that's an interesting one. Chromatic thing, and then tips. And in my system, I'm talking about ghost notes and syncopation, inner voice motions, and it's asking if you want to have tabs. So let me see. Yes, tabs. Let's ask for tabs and see what this thing spills out. Replacing your landing to G minor, which he's just, I have to tell him which key I'm playing. I don't know why he's speaking G minor, but let's see what it will tell me. He's gonna tell me tabs. Oh, there we go. It is building tabs out of all these things. There we go. And he's asking if you want to harmonizing one more flavor. So it's just giving me a lot of options there with tabs. So this thing is really awesome, as you can see, and it keeps evolving. Every meeting that I have inside the platform, or these meetings, I get this thing trained in whatever I talked about, or these concepts. It keeps growing, it keeps learning every day. So you should join the Brazilian Guitar Institute, and if you want to do so, we have to book a call with me so we can go through and see where you are, see if you're a good fit. We are not accepting beginner in students. Unfortunately, you gotta be intermediate to advanced, because you need to get your, and by intermediate, you have just a general find your way on the guitars, learn, know some chords, knowing at least tabs, and know your way around the instrument a little bit. That's what we require, but not like full beginners who don't know how to hold instruments. Unfortunately, I can't have those there at the moment because I just don't have the time to cater for that audience. So book a call with me here. I have really limited time for calls, unfortunately, because I teach now in 5 universities. And it's a lot of work, but I have a few spots open for now. If you're interested in learning all this stuff, come here, join us on this. And on that end, I will say bye for now and play again some kind of a version of this. Thank you so much for joining us here, and it's been great to be with you. Leave your questions if you have any. Yeah, Mark, it's a fun call. I know. Mark joined us a couple weeks ago, and I'm sure he's really happy. I'm really happy that he's in. He's been a regular here in our live streams, and he's finally in the program, and I'm super stoked that he's with us on this thing. Well, what key you want me to play this thing? You know, kind of the final run of this thing. Should I play an E flat, or should I play an A major, or should I play in C major? Which key you want me to try this thing, you know, and see what happens there. Let me know now in the comments real quick before I start playing and saying bye for now. I will, Bala. I'm just asking for what key should I do that. E flat major original, or A major, E flat, or C. The keys that I kind of showed today, right? A flat, and then I showed in A, then I showed in C. Which one you guys want me to experiment with and see if I have anything going on. Hopefully I won't mess up this. Mark votes for E flat, the original key. So since he was the first one to step up, and he didn't ask a question today, I will honor his request, but Bala asked for open string key, and Reggie says C major. So let me see what I can do. I think I can kind of do a summary of all these keys. Hopefully I won't mess up this. Let me just double check if I'm not messed this up. Or here. Okay, let's see if I can kind of go through these keys real quick. So anyhow, thank you so much for being here with me today. And you know, the members of the Brazilian Guitar Institute get this this whole session summarized, and sometimes I get concepts out of it and post on the platform, and they will have later today this whole meeting summarized and everything I talked about, and they can check that out, and with timestamps, so even more convenient. So if you want, be part of it, book a call with me, BrazilianGuitarTalk.com. And thank you so much for being here, and let's see this interesting multi-key version of this thing. Let's see if I can do something like this. I managed to go through a few of the keys, right? I did go to A at some point, you go to C, and then I kind of got lost and came back to flat. But you got the idea, right? So thank you so much, everyone, for being here. It was a pleasure again. One more time, if you want to be part of this and learn all this stuff, book a call with me, BrazilianGuitarTalk.com, and hopefully I'll see you there, or if not, I'll see you next week, hopefully. So can't wait to see you all again, and thanks for being here with me. Have a great day, a great rest of this Saturday or Sunday or whenever you're watching this again. Thank you. I'll see you soon.